This chapter, we will review some key concepts in assessing the quality of a research and the structure of a research article. A research critique is an analysis of a research that focuses on its strengths and limitations. Health professionals often need to be able to identify best current practice, and the ability to evaluate and use published research is critical in achieving this. Critiquing is a systematic process. They begin at the title and review each section until the reference list at the end. It is useful to ask questions about the purpose of each component of the article and whether it achieves that purpose. In your article critique assignment, we have listed the core questions for each component of the article that you would need to think while reading the assigned article. Inference is an integral part of doing and critiquing research. An inference is a conclusion drawn from the study evidence using logical reasoning and taking into account the method used to generate that evidence. Researchers face the challenges of using methods that yet persuasive evidence in support of the inferences they wish to make. So each reader must join their own inference based on a critique of the study. Validity and reliability are two important criteria to assess the quality of a quantitative study. Validity is the soundness of the evidence, whether findings are convincing and support the desired inferences. Validity looks at whether the study actually investigates what it aims to. Reliability is majorly about the consistency of obtained information. So both validity and reliability have the internal and external considerations. Internal validity is about interpretability. It asks, is the research designed such that we can confidently claim that the outcomes are a result of the experimental treatment? External validity is the extent to which the results can be generalized from samples to populations. Is the research designed such that we can generalize beyond the subjects under investigation to the interested population? Construct validity is about operation. Was the study carried out in the right way to capture the key constructs of both independent variables and dependent variables? Internal reliability is the consistency of data collection, analysis, and interpretation. Would an independent researcher on reanalyzing the data come to the same conclusion? External reliability is the extent to which independent researchers can reproduce the study and obtain results similar to those obtained in the original study. It asks, would an independent researcher on replicating the study come to the same conclusions? Please review the definitions of different aspects in validity and elements in quantitative design. Think about the relationships between them. For example, if we fail to control the confounding variables, and if there are pre-existing differences between the groups before intervention, if the differences were caused by natural growth instead of the intervention of interest, can we still believe in the references of the relationship between independent variables and dependent variables claimed by the researchers? If the STAR didn't report dropout of participants, can we still believe in the sample balance for groups by the end of the study? External validity is about generalizability. If the sample is drawn from an accessible population rather than a target population, generalizing the research results from the sample to the target population is risky. The inadequate operationalization of both independent variables and dependent variables, such as measures and implementation, would affect the construct validity. Selecting the valid instruments to measure the variables and using strategies to ensure the true intervention effects, such as dose and time, and minimize the artifacts that co-varying with the treatment, can improve the construct validity. As reliability is about consistency, any unexpected changes would be threats to the reliability. Threats to reliability are those factors that cause error. After all, the inconsistency in the measurement you are using comes from such error. Some of the sources of error in the study may include researcher error, environmental changes, and participant changes. Even when a measurement process is considered to be precise, for example, a stopwatch, your judgment will often be involved in the use of the measurement. For example, when to start and when to stop the stopwatch. Human error or human differences is also a factor. For example, the reaction time to start the watch. This becomes a greater problem as the number of researchers increases and the number of the measurements increases. During the time between measurements, there may be small environmental changes that influence the measurements being taken and creating error. These changes in the environment make it impossible to ensure that the same individual is measured in the same way. For example, even two closely timed measurements may be affected by environmental conditions or variables such as light, day, time, temperature. However, it should be noted that ensuring that individuals are measured in the same way each time without any environmental change is an ideal. Between measurements, it is also possible for research participants to change in some way. While this potential for change is generally reduced if the time between measurements is short, this is not necessarily the case. It depends on the nature of the measurement. For example, focus or attention affects reaction time. Hunger or tiredness leads to reduced physical or mental performance. These participant changes can create errors that reduce the reliability of measurements.